Hello and welcome to our daily sketching routine. It is Tuesday, September 24th, 2024, and today's topic will be sketching poses from imagination. And I guess that's kind of a theme, sketching poses from imagination. I'll just put sitting. Maybe I'll call it something else. But so we'll be doing. So I'm going to continue from this page I've been working on, and I thought it would be good because we already have some characters, but you can apply this to any character, also just for just drawing, life drawing. But I'll post a link to a video where I talked about how to sketch poses from imagination, kind of randomly. I just kind of, it was like my first video talking about it. But in this case, we'll be doing like sitting, and it could just be like you don't even have to have a character in mind, but since we have some characters, what I'll do is, so the basic process is that I'm going to use a Sharpie and also like a medium point, the usual pen, and the idea is that it's good to loosen up, just to get your mind thinking differently. So I could use this, but I'll probably, what happens is that I'll tend to approach it the same kind of way because I'm used to using this pen, and so it doesn't access the part of my mind that I want it to, which is to my imagination, in other words. So yeah, let's just get started. I'll start a 5-minute timer. So I'll do a few for each character. So for example, this character, and this is also good for character design. I'm just gonna, this is like in the previous video where I'm just going to start something. And this comes down to basically getting to know the character and not overthinking it. And then next we'll move on. Again, not trying to do too much, but keeping in mind that that we're drawing sitting poses. And then we're going to see what we end up with. So again, you might have a vague notion or you might have a more specific notion, but this stage is about loosening up. So I did 3 gestures. I mean, this is gestures. Again, I used a different marker because I'm used to this one, and this is just to break out of that. And that took less than 5 minutes. So next, before I even like try to analyze like which one is good or which one I'm going to use, I'm not even going to think about that. So then the next step is just to identify certain things. So for example, the head could be good. Just kind of identify like where the character's head might be. Now we start to like become a bit more analytical. So that's one thing to do. Then next you might identify like the shoulders might be good. So the shoulders are going to be a little bit smaller than the head for the sake of these thumbnails. So just think about where they might be, and then we'll start to suggest the pose. Like that. Then next, you might identify like where the knees are, or like since it's sitting, you might identify where like the hips leading to like the knees. So this doesn't have to be a specific character. It could just be a good warm-up. You can also do this and then look up reference, which, as you know, well, you might be new, but if you've been following along, you know that I prefer to come up with my own sketches and then look up reference, because it builds a dependency if you just look up reference. So, which is to say that this builds more imagination and freedom of expression, which is what I want. So that's 5 minutes right there. You can see you can get a lot of sketches done. I'll start another 5-minute timer. So for the sake of this demonstration, I'll just kind of like pick one and then I'll develop it. So I'll pick one from each group. So I'm liking like this, pretty good. So from here, just sketch out a figure. I mean, like, I feel like all the hard work has already been done. Like, it already suggests. Now, if you're at the stage where you do like need to look up reference, I mean, there's plenty of reference, but you can still use this methodology. It's still the same, like, the way people teach. It's still like the same thing. And after you do it for a while, you'll be able to just do it from, I was going to do the other thing. You can do it from imagination. But part of it is like, if you're still working on like hand-eye coordination, then yeah, just look at whatever and just get used to drawing and sketching. I mean, there's a lot of interesting poses, actually. And yeah, I mean, I tend to do like a certain theme because, like I said, I'm working on my book series. So yeah, I kind of like this one because it's like the back view. So I'm gonna go with this guy, this one, go with this one, and this one. So that's less than 5 minutes right there. But I'm running out of ink here. But now we will develop. So let's say you have like, I mean, you have a pose. So this is, I mean, I guess the question might be, well, how do you come up with like the proportions? I mean, that's why reference is good. But I also, if you look at the figure drawing playlist, like I talk about like proportions. There's so, that's like really basic stuff. But you kind of have to know, like, again, it's also different. It's different on the style that you're using. Like my style is like pretty realistic, but not exactly realistic. But like mostly. Can you see that? All right, well, let's develop. I'll just kind of do it around the same vicinity here. So to develop it, well, I'll talk about like proportions since you kind of need to know it. So for example, if you want to draw this is like a thumbnail right here and also like a gesture, and you want to draw it, see if I can scoot this up a bit. Where's my zoom? I can't reach the button because of the camera setup right now. So if you want to draw a figure that fits right here, there's many different ways to approach things. So you could like, notice this one, I'm not saying no construction lines. I mean, sometimes construction lines is good. So the basic proportion is, for example, if you're looking at, if you want it to fit like right here, if you find like the center, you can interpret the thumbnail that way. So for example, like that, because this is the halfway. That's the shoulder. So that's 5 minutes. Start another one. So then this is where the knowledge of the basic figure drawing comes in. Like the neck comes forward at an angle, the head. So you're interpreting this. So it's not going to like draw it for you. Like you still need to like know the basics, but it's all from imagination, which is kind of cool. So I'm just gonna kind of fill this in. So this is called construction, and it's up to you. I've gone over this a lot, but there's also other people talking about how to do this, different methods. My method is a mix of like how to draw comics the Marvel way and like the Loomis method, and also like Jack Ham if you want to check out like his books. But it's also like the way that I do it, like out of my own process. So kind of like that. Again, you have the basic figure, so now when you look up reference, it'll go with your idea and you're not stuck. The other thing that we'll go over is like how to draw kind of like the area around it. Like if I want to incorporate this, so it kind of looks like he's got a hat, I can just kind of make it part of the background and be kind of random about it and just kind of give it something that he's sitting on here. And then we'll go like another step, not today, but like how to make it the next step from this. Although I do have videos about that too, actually. You would just do like a more detailed version, like a bigger version, so you can draw in all the details. So next we'll go with this one. Again, just establish how tall it is, and then find like the center, and then you can kind of see, like, just find the proportion, like if that's about equal, like that. So you're gonna need to learn these anyway, like if you really want to know how to draw. So same with this. Yeah, if you're not sure, you can just draw it in real quick or sketch it in here, and then you'll have that. You'll have your proportion for that. See, so it's all about the proportion, it's about the shapes, and it's about the angles. And I've gone over like so many different ways to basically do this. But it's important to get good at this, and then sort of what I'm working on, like just personally, is like how to, like you need to know this, but then the next thing would be how to realize the character like consistently, and also like draw a lot. Just do like a simple, that's 5 minutes. So in the last 5 minutes here, I'll just finish up these figures. What do we have? This one, it's kind of interesting because the leg is kind of crossed, like I sort of did that by accident. So again, it's good to know proportions so that I can just fit it where I need it to, so you're not missing, like drawing it off the page and stuff. So again, usually that's going to be where the hips are, the midpoint there. So since I know that the legs are crossed, I'm just gonna, there's foreshortening, in other words. So I'm just gonna put that in there. So you can see that this is really about knowing how to draw, and it doesn't really matter what style you use. That's why I don't go too much into like it has to be like a certain proportion, because it depends on the character. Now there is another step, but it's good to know this. But there is another step to like detail this, flesh it out, and then even another step. But it's good to know the steps, and it's good to know like when you get stuck, like what's messing it up, like why doesn't it look correct. So some of why I'm doing the background is because of the pen line. I'm just like blending it in so the characters don't look like they're wearing hats. But you can use a pencil if you want. This just looks like a giant chair here. Make it look like a bench. I got a couple of minutes left here, so we'll do this one. So again, just can decide the height. But yeah, you can use this for figure drawing, just generally speaking. So this one's going a little bit off because I wasn't being like that careful. But sometimes it's good in these sketchbook, like sketchy sketchbooks, to have the figures kind of overlap in different sizes. It's more interesting. So yeah, I mean, once you know the basics like this, then when you look up reference, it'll actually teach you how to draw. And it'll build confidence and your memory. So that kind of thing. So yeah, hopefully that helped you out, and thanks for joining me today, and thank you for supporting the channel, and until next time, keep on sketching.